But I mastered that style. It's like the 5 deadly venoms. All he had to do was get next to a nigga like that, and he could destroy him.
Believe in that, for real. We plan to take the same strategy we use with Death Row West, mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it into our strength. That all these people talk about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago, because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
The WBC finally does what's right and grants Franchon Cruz Dezern her belt back. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for Patreon. You don't want to miss things that I got lined up. We're working on some different things. So head over to Patreon, link in the description, or you can also hit the YouTube join button. It's right underneath this video next to the subscribe button to become a YouTube channel member. And I got some cool stuff in store for the members of those two programs. And again, it helps the channel, helps us grow. You know, I'm a one-man band. Now, WBC posted this picture of Franchon Cruz Dezern with the belt. It says Franchon Cruz Dezern is reinstated as the WBC World Super Middleweight World Champion. Someone said, great timing, you could have done this 4 months ago. You know, my sentiments exactly. Now, I'm not gonna read this whole thing from the WBC, but I will link it for you guys. They did what's right. This is the right outcome. You know, she deserves the belt. Says on January 10th, 2020, Alejandra Jimenez defeated Franchon Cruz Dezern by split decision, conquering the WBC Super Middleweight Champion. Look at the dates, January 10th, and it was a split decision victory. On January 24th, so, you know, within 2 weeks, the VADA, Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, notified the WBC that the contents of random out-of-competition urine sample that VADA collected from Alejandra Jimenez on January 10th as part of the clean boxing program yielded an adverse finding of stanozolol, right? And February, it says February 10th, the Texas Department of Licensing suspended her for 90 days and declared the bout a no decision. So now it's a no contest, and Franchon Cruz, this is just all legal like jargon. So as a result, the WBC declared the result of Franchon Cruz Dezern versus Jimenez bout a no contest, thus reinstating its recognition of Franchon Cruz Dezern as the world champion, right? So they have all the particulars and kind of the dates, who, what, when, where, and why. Now, this is sad that it took so long for the WBC to do this, you know. They're going to make it look like there's some due process, right? And it just, you know, miraculously took, this happened in really one of the first fights of the year. This was, so keep in mind, January 10th, that was when, on the Jaime Munguia versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan DAZN card, right? So this is well before the pandemic was known about in America. This was before the March shutdown from the NBA, which kind of triggered other companies to go in that direction as well, right? So this was a minute ago that this happened. She promptly failed, her opponent promptly failed, right? Her drug test within 2 weeks, and they're just now giving her belt back. Now, look at this, ESPN, shout out to them. Franchon Cruz Dezern restored, this is, see, Dan Rayfield doesn't even work with ESPN anymore. So that's how it goes to show you, because he's been fired or laid off or not renewed or whatever for a minute. And most people in the boxing circuit heard that. So that goes to show you, he's a former ESPN writer at this point. So that goes to show you, look at the title of his article when he was with ESPN. Franchon Cruz Dezern restored as titleist after opponent fails drug test, right? Franchon Cruz Dezern has one of her women's super middleweight titles back. The WBO announced that it has reinstated Cruz DeZern. So how come no matter what the WBC says, there's no way that it should have took this long when, look at the date of this article, New Media, we control the narrative. This was 5 days before my birthday, and my birthday was a minute ago, and I spent it in quarantine. So I remember, and that was when the quarantine was semi-fresh, right? I'm used to the quarantine now, you know, I'm thugging, beard long, hair long, we thugging, you know? So how is it that the Franchon Cruz DeZern was for multiple titles? It was like a unified title fight, and January 10th, the fight took place. Within 2 weeks, the chick, Alejandra Jimenez, Robert Downey Jr. looking chick, failed a drug test, right? She failed her A and B sample, and then the WBO, shout out to them, and I made a video about all of this. They were able to create, I'm sure it works the same way, but basically they were able to create an environment where Alejandra Jimenez probably had a certain window to appeal or to justify or explain with a reasonable, you know, explanation as to why you have stanozolol in your system. And if you fail to do that, then we're going to do the rightful thing. Since you failed a drug test, you broke the rules, and we're going to give the belt back. And that's what they did. They didn't get, look, it said the WBO announces reinstated her. Jimenez won a disputed split decision. That's also important. This was a Golden Boy card. They were trying to pit this chick, Jimenez or whatever, against Clarissa Shields, and the fight was close to a degree, but then of course they gave it to her miraculously and she won. And then to add insult to injury, she failed a drug test, right? So how come everybody else is able to move quicker? Now, let me tie this all together. It says Jimenez has the right to appeal the decision in writing within 2 weeks. Justice has been served, De La Hoya said, yada, yada, yada. Miss Cruz DeZern and her team have interposed a formal protest to the WBC concerning the outcome of the bout, right? This was in March, and now the WBC, they just now giving her belt back? Like, this is crazy. And I think it's no coincidence that you look, turn on your TV, you know, go to YouTube, go to Instagram, you see all the clips, you see a heavy presence when it comes to BLM, Black Lives Matter, you know, inequalities against black people and people of color, and people aren't standing for it anymore. People are fed up. So what a coinky dink. That's when all this heat, look, you see the WBC, they just posted this because you know what's going on. It says United for Peace, and you know, everybody's doing the George Floyd blackout. The show must be paused, right? They're putting messages and disclaimers. People are losing money. Businesses are losing money. Businesses are getting looted and broken into. All types of stuff. Look, WBC say Black Lives Matter. But why didn't it matter when Franchon Cruz DeZern should have already been awarded her belt? How come the WBO, I know it's a different sanctioning body, but how come they're able to create, you know, a rule set that promptly takes care of this? This fight again was January 10th. And you mean to tell me today, at the time of recording this video, is June 4th. She failed a prompt drug test immediately after with something that you can't have in your system that is an actual PED. She didn't have like cocaine or weed, which is not good. You're not supposed to have that in your system, but it's not the same as a performance enhancing drug. Look it up. Look, the first thing, USADA came right up. There's a lot of fighters and athletes that have failed for this, right? Stanozolol is a synthetic steroid that is derived from testosterone. So it's It's like, you know, some pretty advanced chemical compound. It has anabolic and androgen properties. That's all you need to know. It's an actual steroid. Designer anabolic steroid control, boom, boom, boom. right? Stanozolol can be administered orally or intramuscularly. You know, and I'll leave that for you guys to do your research. I've already done the research because other fighters have failed with this stanozolol stuff, right? It's an actual PED, you know. This is not something you take and it's accidentally, you know, like Canelo said he ate the meat. This is not something like that. It's an anabolic. A lot of people inject it, stuff like that. Look, and this is the one that allegedly won the title. And again, you have to question the fight because a lot of people thought that she lost the fight, this chick, you know, and they thought Franchon Cruz Dezern did enough to keep her titles. So she entered as the champion and she left as the loser. And then ultimately the real loser is Alejandra Jimenez. And a lot of people, I'm just going to say it outright, bro. A lot of people feel there's favoritism from the WBC when it comes to Mexican fighters particularly, and just in general Hispanic Latino fighters. It's like they did everything in their power to go against the grain and not do what the WBO did. She looks like she's on something, bro. She looked like she on something, you know. And I know it's not just about the look, because I know you can't condemn somebody for looking like it, but beyond looking like she's on something, right? Look, Robert Downey, beyond looking the part, you actually failed. So now 2 and 2 has to equal 4. You get what I'm saying? Look. So I don't know what the WBC, what took so long? What needed to happen that couldn't be completed in a more reasonable amount of time? Why should a black fighter, or any fighter for that matter, have their title taken in an unjust way by somebody who deliberately tried to cheat, failed all their drug tests from, you know, multiple, the A and B sample, and they had no business being in the ring? Look at this before and after. Yeah, no big deal when you're on stanozolol, you know? Please let me know why it should take so long to get this rectified. And it's crazy. And I really feel you guys can believe what it. See, look, Iron Man. You guys could believe whatever you want, but I don't think it's any coincidence that she gets her belt back right when they're like, see, this I can't respect the aspect of you wait till the spot's hot and there's an immense pressure from all angles. There's protests in New Zealand, protests in the Netherlands, the UK, all 50 states protested this week, you know, and people are screaming to the top of their lungs, waving signs, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, right? Look at your girl. And she failed a drug test. And people are waving these signs and picketing and protesting and standing down and doing media blackouts and blackouts from social media, all types of stuff. And coincidentally, you show that you're doing the right thing for Franchon Cruz Dezern in the midst of all of this. Not a week before the George Floyd murder, right? In the dab smack, the middle of it, literally the day that the other officers like got arrested, and then Chauvin's charge got upgraded. This is wrong from the WBC. And to me, the timing looks horrible because it looks like you're doing it because you have no choice but to do what's wrong. You can't fend off the fans who have probably been asking you about this. Channels like mine, I've covered this. New media, I always stand up for what's right. I always stand up for boxing. This chick failed her drug test. She had an actual PED. It should have never taken this long. It should have never taken this long to get her belt. And you know that. And now it's looking like an opportunist. You wait till dab smack. Okay, you know, blacks are angry with this Black Lives Matter and stuff. And there's an immense pressure. Why would you wait? It would have looked so much better. Look, I'm going to show you. It would have looked so much better. Look, this is Netflix. $1 trillion company, Netflix. To be silent is to be complicit. Black Lives Matter. We have a platform. We have a duty to our black members, employees, creators, and talents to speak up 4 days ago, right? You waited until the world is in the middle of this, which is all too apparent, and then that's when you do it. It's almost becomes laughable, because my channel and other people and fans have been asking you to do what's right. Look, Showtime Boxing, right? Look, there's an immense pressure from all these companies to act now and to spread the word and make sure things are on an even playing field for everybody, right? Black stories matter, black ideas matter. See, every company's doing this. So how can I look at you as, oh, you just did what was right? You know? Look, Walt Disney doing it. I'm pretty sure historically Walt Disney was racist. The actual Walt Disney, right? But, you know, shout out to he's no longer with us. Look, it's laughable at this point. Walt Disney Company has pledged $5 million to support nonprofit organizations that advance social justice, beginning with a $2 million donation to the NAACP. So, you know, why does it take for black people and just people around the world, shout out to everybody who's further the movement, why does it take for stuff like this to get justice and do what's right? Getting the cops arrested, getting Franchon Cruz to earn her belts back. You know, this is not no coincidence. There's no way this is a coincidence that during the peak of it all, you know, it's like we're in the middle of a heat wave of, you know, racial tension and BLM and protests and stuff. And that's precisely when you decide is the best time to get her belt back. You didn't want to be under pressure. Now, the thing that looks bad about this for the WBC is, again, the timing. If you would have did this in March, like the WBO, it wouldn't have been a problem, because this was before George Floyd was still breathing, right? But you waited. So now it becomes hard for fans to tell who's being disingenuous and who's being authentic and really cares about what they're saying, because a lot of people, they care when their pockets are hit, you know, and they don't want to be the odd person out. Everybody's doing this. Everybody, look, Golden Boy had racist emails that were sent to him from one of their workers, right? And I've talked about all this, and we're going to keep talking about it. Golden Boy. But yet and still, you know, they did this Blackout Tuesday. So it's like everybody has an obligation to do it now, and then that's when you decide to do something that's right. So to me, it becomes harder to respect. Look at the comment. Someone said Oscar don't even like black people. Someone said all lives matter. Fuck you. You know, Black Lives Matter, Latino Lives Matter, stress both issues. What about us? We need justice to our familia. You know, I'm not going to even keep reading this stuff, but you guys get the point. The point is, it just would have looked a lot better if this was done from the beginning. You know, point blank period. There's no way to soothe it over. Let me see what the fans are saying. Here's what they think about you. Someone said, great timing, could have done this months ago. Don't act like y'all ain't tried to defend the she-man that tried to kill her because you don't respect your black champ. See? Look, people are always going to be able to tell when something seems authentic and genuine. People don't forget. They're going to know who rode for them. What about our opponent Jimenez? What about Fury? Y'all some jokes. See, people are going in. This is just random comments I'm reading. Just doing this because of what's going on in the country. Look, WBC, we bless cheaters. Glad she finally got both her belts back. You guys going to be posting me real soon. You know? What happened to the drug cheat? Did you guys find her? See? Hispanic chick, Jimenez. What's up with her? You know, she need to be fined. I remember you guys were defending her opponent not too long ago. See, look, people know. I told you people ain't gonna forget. Hold on, let me read that. That's a good one. I could tell when it's gonna be good. I remember you guys were defending her opponent not too long ago, going so far as replying to all the people who commented. Where's that same energy, WBC? See, I told you, new media. This is thug life. That's my comment. Y'all took like 89 years laughing my ass off. See, that's what I'm saying. People see it in the comment section. I knew it wasn't just me, and I promise you, I did not proofread these comments. I put that on anything. She's the one that got rocked so hard her wig came off. You know, about dang time. See, people see it. Great to see the champ is reinstated. Justice is served. There's no room for steroids in the sport of boxing where people are putting their lives on the line. Ms. Jimenez's agreement with the WBC is not an admission that she indeed purposely ingested a banned substance to improve her performance. I guess they're quoting the WBC. And see, that's what I'm saying. They were trying to save this chick, Jimenez, to make it look like she had a way out. And I don't know, they're trying to buy time, but people were growing restless. Listen, everything I'm saying is fact, and you guys can look it up. WBC, Franchon, Cruz, Boxingego. Look, right on cue, March 18th, before that ESPN article, if I'm not mistaken, that ESPN article was from March 20th. So I beat ESPN. Listen, we the truth. The truth is us. That's all y'all need, man. New media, I promise you. Look. If you want to become part of the gang, notification. Later found out the results came back. They're going over like what about your regular day and duties, not blessing that in the system. And she's saying, look, she is a clean athlete. And why she had to fight for her belt, man? It's just not fair because you have to deal with what God gave you and your natural production of, people. Man, y'all can go watch these videos, but y'all know what it is, bro. I told you, man, new media, we just coming different. We just coming new, we coming hard. I'm happy she got her belt back, but I'm sad that it took so long and that it had to be all this in order for her to get her belt back. The whole country had to be in utter turmoil, crumbling before our very eyes, and pure chaos and almost anarchy. It is looking like the purge when you turn on the news. Now you want to do what's right, instead of doing what's right year round. It's like Valentine's Day. Don't wait. If you love someone, tell them you love them. Don't wait for a special day to try to show them you love them. So you treat them bad 364 days out of the year, but on Valentine's you got to show that you love. That's not how it should be. If you love somebody, show them that you love them ongoing. Valentine's Day is just another day, where you can do that. Maybe you do something a little bit different, but you're supposed to be doing that ongoing. And what the WBC did with Franchon, they stalled her out, and they did the same thing with Canelo. They said Canelo failed a test and no, he wouldn't do that. He ate the meat. And we know how you know what another person does in camp. I don't know what Canelo did, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know. So how's the WBC know unless you was with him in Mexico at that particular time and you know what he was consuming? You see what I'm saying? They did the same thing. They did a post and delete with this Jimenez chick. They said, oh, you guys are a lot of rumors, because there was rumors that it was that she was born a man and different stuff like that. And the WBC came out and said, oh, she's not a cheater. She's not on anything. And they did this long post on this page that they later deleted. And I have a screenshot. So you really don't want me to start digging into the vote and stuff like that. This is precisely why I screenshot this stuff. This is why I screenshot these things. Just so I have them for a rainy day. So as long as you guys know, we always on the right side of history. We always doing what's right for the fighters. I just wish this verdict would have come a lot sooner. Let me know what you guys think. Ego Villi. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.